All right, guys. So I located the bolts. And it's actually not just two; it's three. Well, first and foremost, welcome back to part two of this oil pan install removal sump extension, whatever video you want to call it. But anyways, yeah, I located the bolts, and I was under the impression that it was two, but it's actually a total of three. That it's pretty much blocked. I've read like older forums where some guys, once they located what they needed, they actually drilled holes into the sump in the back. No oil or anything goes through. It's just the webbing and the bracing for it. So it's not like they were creating a oil leak situation. But anyways, they would drill holes, and they would just slide their the socket, the extension and all, up through that hole and undo those bolts. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it the right way, because there was one bolt that I looked at that I wasn't confident in being able to drill without damaging one of the supporting mounting tabs for the sump to transmission. And after just seeing how heavy of an assembly and everything this is, I said, man, I don't want to shortcut this and not have enough bolts there that it needs to have to hold this thing together. So long story short, with that, I'm going to go ahead and undo my to do it. Pretty much, you got to undo the clutch and you got to undo your flywheel at that point. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. On these style clutches, they don't use like a regular bolt. They use cap screws. So I found the cap screw for the OS Geiken, the size I should say. And on this size, it's a 5 millimeter. So I'm gonna go around it. I don't have a 5 mil socket, so right now I'll pick one up when it's time to do the install. But to break this thing loose and all, I'm gonna go ahead and just use a regular Allen key. And these are done up, torqued. They got to be torqued. So what I'm going to use, because it is a lot of tension, is this inserted into a 12 mil socket. You could get away with like a 10 or 8, even a 7 mil socket, I would imagine. I just didn't have that in the deep in this drive. I did have it in quarter, but not 3/8. So this is just a 12 mil that I've been using, of course, working on the car. Just drop it in there like so. And now what this is going to do is going to give you the leverage that you need. The other thing is you got to stop your crank and flywheel off from spinning. Luckily, and I'm quite sure Nissan probably had 2 tabs, but no, actually just one. They have a dowel pin over here. So I'm going to rest this up against the dowel pin and just break it loose that way. Just prevent it from spinning as much as possible. And you just take your pry bar or screwdriver and you locate it in the grooves of the teeth of your actual flywheel, because this is what the starter uses to grab as well. And you just get that in there and make sure it's not going to strip on you. And you just got to hold this against the opposite way which you're trying to go so it doesn't spin. As you can see, that one's in there fairly tight, so I gotta take my time with this now. And just work my way all the way around. Probably because now I'm in the camera's view. You know what I'm gonna do real quick? Put this thing rolling. Just move it over. So hopefully, well, you guys can see exactly what I'm doing now. Of course, it's not back far enough. Great. So what I'll have to do probably is drop this down. Hold on, guys. Hopefully now I'm in view and I'm not blocking the view and you can see the process of what I'm doing. I said I'm not going to tighten it with this style. I'm going to use my impact, go around it. And I think actually some places they sell like a locking tool where it locks right in. Now the one thing I'm going to have to pick up from OS Geiken now, I was kind of wanting to avoid all of this, but I got to get the special tool that they use to pretty much tighten or keep the not tighten, but keep the daggone, like your clutch tool kit that goes in there. I gotta pick that up. It's like $90 or whatever from OS Geiken. So I was trying to avoid having to do like so much of a disassembly of everything, but it is what it is, man. It's like the nature of the beast, bro. With this car, and I'm quite sure Supras are probably the same freaking way. It's like it's a pigeonhole, man. You know, you get to fooling with one thing, and then next thing you know, you find out you got watching. That worked. So I got everything loose. Now, pretty much, I gotta go ahead and just go around it. Each one of these. And they're hardened. Hardened steel. Like a wave washer. Okay. You guys can see that in the camera. I take all of those off to get the clutch off of there. And as you can see, it's like ARP. They're like brand new, man. So this clutch must have been just installed when I bought the car, pretty much right around the same time. Interesting that they didn't put any like Loctite on these. I think when I go back with it, I am definitely going to put I'll Loctite it, you know. And I gotta pick up a M5 Allen socket 3/8 drive. It'll just make this go a lot quicker. I've tried to do some research on this clutch kit as well. I wasn't able to pull up anything really where it just spelled out, yeah, DS440 is a twin or triple body of this car, which I didn't even think was possible, but it was. And this guy showed you how possible it was to do. All right, guys, so this is the pressure plate that's now off of the car, off the engine, I should say. Little dust, but still doesn't look like a lot of wear in it. But this stuff looks clean, but I'll have to look at it and inspect it for I'll have to inspect it for heat buildup, because that's what you gotta pay attention to. And wow, so as you can see, that's heat. So she's definitely been abused, put through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my best to clean that up. And I just gotta look at the actual disc. This is the disc, and you gotta pay attention to the way these freaking things go on. So this one is the front number one. Springs look good. Does have some meat taken out of it. Now, there's a gouge or something. It's got heat definitely in it. So, going back to that whole speech that I just gave you guys, I may wind up having to rebuild the clutch. I gotta look at compare the prices between this and I might just wind up going to triple clutch. I gotta inspect that some more, and then come up with a decision. And I probably gotta figure out a way to maybe be able to measure these discs. But if that's the case, then I'm gonna wind up going triple on this setup. And this is clutch pack number 2 coming out. As you can see here. Oh wow. Yeah, she's definitely had some abuse put on her. Yeah. Wow. Okay. You guys can see that. Looks like pretty much what your brake rotor would appear to be. It's glazed over for sure. Right. It's like I gotta read up on this. I wish it had some type of part number, man. This is disc number 2, and it sits in there like this, and then this sits up against the flywheel or the backing, right? And you can see, I don't know if that's gonna show up on camera. So I gotta really, I gotta really look into this, decide what I'm gonna do. And once you're down to this point, this is the basket that's made into, it's not made into the flywheel. It actually looks like the basket itself can get, because there's bolts coming from the back side. You take this basket off and then you can machine your flywheel. The only problem is this part has been machined. So, like I said, I mean, not machined, it's been balanced. And actually, I'll get the camera over and show you guys another balance. It has another balance mark. So that assembly has been balanced. It's been balanced. Of course, the actual internals, your plates and disc, they're not balanced, but the pressure plate in this has been balanced. The pressure plate looks really good. It looks really good. So I may be able to use them over, and I just have to get new internals for it. But I gotta price all that stuff up and see, the way to go. And then I might wind up, like I said, I still might wind up going 3. I might go a 3 disc triple plate clutch or whatever. So now I just gotta, these look like, they look bigger than 19s, but I gotta pop this off. And once I pop that off, I'll have access to getting this plate off here. And then I'll have access to those 3 bolts that's there. So hold tight. All right, guys. So the bolts that hold the flywheel on are a 19 mil. Okay, cool. These are definitely hard and steel as well. Definitely heavy duty. And once I'll go back in with it, I'll clean them. I'll put Loctite on them. I just one time, man, with my DA, I had a bad experience when I did the clutch job on it. Freaking flywheel bolts had come loose and got dislodged into the pressure plate and all, and it's bad. It was bad times, but thank God I didn't really tear anything up. Besides that, but yeah, I'm gonna put the Loctite that I have, that red, is very strong. I bought it from this industrial company where we worked on like heavy equipment and stuff back in the day that I used to work for. Um, I don't think I'm gonna go that extreme, just because another potential thing that could happen. You put too strong of a Loctite on that, and when you go to, if you gotta service it again, you can pull the threads from the crank, and then that's ball game. Now you gotta get a new freaking crank. So I don't want to do that. But I'm definitely gonna, I'm a Loctite it just because this is a heck of a job as well. All right. And as you guys can see, that's off now. There's that other balance point that I was talking about. It's right there. She's been heated up for sure. So you can see all of that. And these are the bolts here that'll take the back side of that basket apart if you needed to. So I'll probably scratch that up with some nice sandpaper and then just call it a day. But as far as the packs go, I definitely will be inspecting that. Just like I said, just in case, you know what I mean. I got it broke down to this point. It wouldn't hurt if it's another $700 to $800 just to get those packs. But I think I was looking yesterday, and a triple plate's like 1,000. I mean, triple plate's like 1,200, and then the twin disc plate was like $900 or $800 or something. But I gotta try to look all that stuff up, and I might even have to contact OS Geiken USA just to get their make sure I'm getting the right part numbers and all. So, anyways, now I can look at the seal, the crank seal. Nothing. Little dirt that I'll take a rag and wipe off, but there's no oil or anything like that, which is good. Just a little dust from the actual clutch itself. So now I'm gonna sweep this up so I'm not rolling around in this clutch material. And then the bolts that I've been talking about, I'll probably jack the engine up a little bit. Well, actually, it makes sense just to leave it where it is, so that way the pan will drop down on the frame of the crane. So yeah, one bolt that you can access actually with the transmission still on is here, because you can come up. I don't know if you can show that, so I'll have to take the camera and show you guys. So let me just get this done real quick. All right, guys. So pretty much I broke all the bolts loose already. And the three that you have to take the transmission out, the access on these cars is here, here, and this one. The only one that you have access to is because of this cutout from the factory is this bolt. I don't know why Nissan did it that way. It's just the way that I guess they wanted to, you know. So hopefully this is now getting ready to be close to pay dirt, man. No more surprises, hopefully. Tell you what, man, this engine assembly, man, driveline assembly is heavy. This isn't the same as dealing with those little Hondas, that's for sure, man. This stuff's got some weight on it. I just wish that Nissan would have made these a little bit more accessible without you having to drop the whole freaking transmission down. But it is what it is. It was just a couple of bolts that were a pain in the butt. But other than that, it wasn't too hateful, you know. So now I think I really do have pay dirt. Find that little pry bar that I've been using. All right, let's see if we can get in there now. Oh man, can't be any more surprises. Just in case. I think you guys can hear that as well. She wants to come off finally. Like anything on any car, the key of the game is really patience. That should be enough to get it. All right, guys, as you can see, it broke loose now. It's definitely not over there. It's here on the floor. Very heavy sump. I've handled some heavy parts in my days, but yeah, she's got some weight. And thought I drained all the oil, and apparently I didn't, which is fine. So I'm gonna have to tip this thing up and drain that. So that's pretty much going to be it. And then once I am done getting it welded, fitted on, and ready to go back on the car, I will do that. It's one thing I've been wanting to do for so long as well. And I guess you guys, hopefully you paid attention on my technique on what I did. That way I didn't have the sump just slam on the crown or on the crane frame. I used the frame of the crane and a smaller jack that I have to lower it down on a piece of block. Just so it'd be like a softer fall, which it worked. It worked out, thank God. But now we're good. We're good to go. As you can see, she's free. And this here is the whole reason why I couldn't get the oil pump off of the car with the sump still attached, because of this hangs down on these cars. The pickup is further back. As you can see, this is the pickup for your oil. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy that I was able to get it done. I'm gonna have to set the timing and everything, as this crank spun on me, and yeah, that's gonna be not an adventure like hard, but it's everything that I'm gonna have to be mindful of. So now it's really just doing this up, getting these bolts out. I want to inspect this because this was supposed to have a long nose crank, R34 GTR R34 crank in there, or the if either that or the brake would have been R33s, I think mid-year for them or whatever. They came with a longer support for your oil drive. So I want to inspect all of that, then possibly get up in here. I ain't gonna be able to do it with the camera. See if I can really look at the rods or something. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, like I said, I'll come back and I'll probably do another, at this point, a part 3 of this video. Me going back in with the sump and all. I won't even do that part. I may talk about how you gotta apply your RTV and stuff like that. Just give pointers on that point. Slap it up in there and then just start putting it in the car and try to get that on film. And then but there will be some talks that I want to talk about the oil pump and the other things that I'm doing for oil control that I think someone else will be able to use in their application as well. So hold tight, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Remember, continue being the best versions of yourself. Never stop loving yourself. Never stop believing in yourself. All right. Peace.